What is up, everybody? We are back. I am George Mossey. I am with my co-host Cherona. So we are talking about 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After Season 7, Part 2 of the Tell-All, which aired. So we were talking about Libby and Andre. So I cut you off. So I want to let you have the floor because I cut you off right at the end because we ran out of time. What were you going to say?
Okay, so towards the end of the tell-all, you see Andre go up to Becky, and then they start talking, and they start to make amends. And I
Hmm?
really, in my heart, I hope on everything that that's very genuine, because he said, we're going to fix this. And that's what we all want. We want them to be fixed. We want this, like, good, united family, because, like, when we first saw them in the very beginning, they were this huge family that's so united, that's so fun. You know, like, I feel like they almost, like, try to, like, mimic, like, the Kardashian sisters.
Hmm?
And they're so
I saw that.
tight-knit, and then all of a sudden, like, Andre comes in, it's no one talks to each other, and it's just crazy. So I really hope what he said to Becky is true and genuine. I wish we could have seen that with Charlie. We probably never will. But there's one thing that I did want to say about Charlie. How uncomfortable did he look when the lawyer came on the screen? He's just
Right.
like fiddling and moving, and I'm like, okay, that's a little sus. Like,
Hmm.
what's actually going on? Like, he was kind of giving off this weird body language, kind of like,
Hmm.
are they finding me out? Like, are they gonna know? And then Becky did say something like when she was just like, oh my god, or whatever she said at the end about how it's like, I'm so scared. Like, that was weird to me. I didn't
It
like that,
was.
because if you're completely not guilty, you're kind of making yourself look guilty there, and I didn't like that.
Yeah, they looked very incriminating.
Mm-hmm.
And especially once he said it's a felony to lie to the federal government, they both started acting odd. And I was
Yeah.
like, guys, if you didn't do anything, you don't need to act odd. Actually, Charlie was like, oh, well, what proof do you have if it's anonymous? You don't have any proof or whatever. And I'm like, that's a weird thing to bring up to the lawyer on TV. All right, so Angela and Michael, there is a lot of drama. Actually, some of this drama surprised me. So there's a 31-year-old American woman that Michael has been talking to online, and Angela has said on the tell-all that they are still together, which I'm a little surprised. I guess Renee's not surprised. Renee said that since it's cyber cheating, it's not the same as like if it was a woman in Nigeria that he was seeing every day or she was living in his house, whatever. So for some reason, it's not as serious to Angela as if it was like physical cheating. But I don't know. He said I love you to her. Like a booty call is one thing, but like saying I love you, that is like a whole nother level. Or am I wrong? Is it not as serious if they're not like if it's cyber?
That's weird to me. I think that, the cheating is the cheating, and he's emotionally invested with someone, or he's trying to be, or whatever Michael's doing with this woman is like, okay, then let Angela go. Like, I love that we saw this other side of Angela, and I just wanted to hug her because that was so sad when she's crying. She's like, you're gonna kill me, basically. Like, what are you doing
Mhm.
to me? Like, I just cannot believe that Michael's still putting her through this, and he's still trying. He was pulling an Ed, acting like, he was admitting things, but then he was acting like, he didn't really do anything wrong.
Mhm.
Like, I did not like that. I don't like that he acted that way, and I just felt so much for Angela. We saw a totally different side of Angela tonight, and I loved
Yeah,
it. Here for it.
I I was really happy to see a side of her that showed emotion because Angela is so tough. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the narrative that Sean brought up where she was like, do you feel like Angela's behavior is what brought this on? I hate it, hate it, hate it. I'm gonna say it again. I hate it when people blame cheating in a relationship based on the other person's behavior. There is no behavior that warrants you going out and cheating on another person. If you are having problems, you break up with that person or you handle those problems head on. I don't care if they act any type of way, tear your car apart, scream, and they even tried to use the word bully. Whatever it is, you don't have a get out of jail free card for cheating. So I hated that question. I don't like that narrative. And I just feel like, regardless of what happened or regardless of how Angela treats Michael, he's not right either. Inviting this woman to Valentine's, and actually, Angela said that he never admitted to her that he invited her to Nigeria for Valentine's Day, but he slipped on the tell all and said she didn't come.
Mm-hmm.
So, meaning I invited her, but she didn't come. So he actually gave some more truth that she wasn't actually ready for. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that really hit her off guard too, because she's like, well, I had asked him and he just kept saying, well, I never invite her. I never invite her. Now he's finally saying that he invited her. So it was going to be a physical thing. She was going to be there in the flesh. And we actually saw text messages where he said, just wait till I get to the United States. Wait till she gets me here and I'll come to you. This is crazy. This reminds me of the Eve and Muhammad. situation
Yeah.
where this is a plan B situation. He's using one person to get to the US, and then once you get to the US, you're going to go through with your plan. I am so shocked because Michael is a good liar up until this point. Because once we were watching the show today, he's not a good liar at all. But he did the I love my wife, I would never hurt my wife. And then he just kept saying, it's okay. It's okay. And I think that really pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
Watching her cry and be super hurt and him like saying, it's okay. It's not that serious. It's okay. It's not okay. What about your behavior is okay? Like, I'm not hearing I'm sorry. And then when he does say I'm sorry, it doesn't seem sincere. Because, like what Renee said, he's sorry, sorry, sorry. And Angela's sorried out. At some point, you have to look at it as you wouldn't have to apologize if you would just stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you're completely right. Like, he's just like, I feel like he's also so manipulative. Like, he is the king of sorry. Like, we can give
Mhm.
that to him. You are the king. That is your word. Like, we know you're going to say you're sorry. But, like, why keep saying sorry when you can just stop? Like, just don't do it. Stop humiliating yourself and your wife on national television. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's going to come out one way or another. Like, we're going to see it. Like, the Instagram thing when they're like, we're going to verify this Instagram, which I feel like they were trying to get into towards the end when they're showing us the
Right.
next episode. So I'm very interested because, like Angela seemed like the picture that he had posted, she was so shocked. It's probably like, how could someone get this?
So I was gonna ask your opinion. Do you think that he's back on Instagram? I know we haven't gotten a verified yes or no. Do you think he's back on Instagram? Because remember when he was on Instagram the first time, he just blocked Angela so
Mm-hmm.
she couldn't see it. But apparently, Angela has, I don't know, 700, 800,000 followers. Somebody can tell her what's
Mm-hmm.
going on, which is exactly what happened with these messages and voice notes. So do you think that he jumps back on Instagram and was just hoping she wouldn't notice?
I kind of do. Because, like, we're seeing all of Michael's lies and his deceit and everything. So I kind of believe it. Like, and then the fact that, like, they show the picture and she seems so shocked that this picture is on the internet. Like, who else is it going to be? You don't, if he comes on the next episode and he's like, someone hacked into my iCloud, I'm going to be like, what is going on? Like, I just really want to understand. Like, it's like, Michael, what are you doing? Like, if you can't have the Instagram, we talked about it, like maybe she shouldn't have it, whatever. Like, maybe they should both be off Instagram together. But the fact that he's saying he doesn't have it and it's a fraud and someone's making this up, you can't. I mean, yes, people can make fake accounts, but when it's pictures that only certain people have and it's not something that you can just Google and look it up, then it's obviously real. Like, we're not dumb. We know.
So, what about this sending money? Remember in the conversation in the voice note, he's like, I have money coming your way. So, why would Michael be sending her money? Because you remember, Angela doesn't allow Michael to work. So, Michael doesn't work. She pays his bills, his rent, his car, his phone. So, why would he be sending an American woman money? What money does he have to send? Do you think that he's taking Angela's money and sending it to another woman?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the only money he really has. He was saying that he was making money from Instagram. So it's either he
Right.
has there it goes. It's in the circle. If it's he's getting back on Instagram and he's making money from Instagram that he could be sending that money, or else he's just sending Angela's money. Like there's only two options. Where else is he gonna get money from? He like you said, he doesn't work. Angela supports him. So it's either it's gonna come out. The lie is going to come out and we're gonna know, hopefully next episode. Because why would he be sending her money anyways? Like that's what like I don't even know. Usually it's the other way around.
That
So
yeah, that's what's my question because I was like, when I've been watching this show a long time, it's
yeah.
never ever the money coming from overseas to America because over here the money is worth more.
Hmm.
Or when we send it to them, I'm sorry, it's worth more. So
Exactly.
what would be the idea of sending her money? So I just want to know because Sean is good on popping up people on that screen. Are we gonna get to talk to this woman? Can we get Sean to question this woman and answer what we're wondering? Is Michael in love with you? Is Michael sending you money? Does Michael have a plan to come and live with you when he gets to America? Because they brought up Rose out of nowhere on the screen, and I feel like
Mhm.
we need to find out who this woman is because honestly, I don't know if Michael is gonna tell the truth. And it's funny because I feel so bad because I used to like downplay things throughout the season on Angela's story. And I'm like, oh, Angela, he's not doing anything. You're all the way over there ripping his car apart because he called this girl his person. This is ridiculous. And now I feel so bad because
Yeah.
now that I've seen all of the crazy shit that he's put Angela through, Now I get why she got on a plane, went all the way over there, went to his house. She just wanted to know the truth. And all the way up to the tell-all, this is where she got it. And she honestly asked him to his face over and over, just tell me what's going on. Be honest with me. And now I feel bad because I used to think she was overreacting and she's not. I feel like she underreacted this whole time, because if she knew more than what we knew, I'm surprised that she left Nigeria the way that it did, because they were in a good place. Because apparently he was messaging this woman while he was in the bed in the hotel room while she was downstairs. And then when she went home, back when things were good and they were FaceTiming every day, that's when these messages were coming through.
No, yeah, that makes me absolutely sick. I am so glad that you brought up that point, though. Like, we just think, we see Angela and she's doing all these crazy things and she's acting out. But, like, girl, I get you now. I get you. Because any woman would act that way. I feel like, Angela, we all love her because she's more over the top. Maybe not everyone would just go and like rip their boyfriend's car apart, but if you get to that boiling, or your husband, excuse me, but when you get to that boiling point, I feel like sometimes people feel like there's nothing else they can say, so she just acted on it because that's Angela. She probably felt like, what else can I do? She physically had to fly there, not telling him that she's coming to Nigeria, and just pops up. And you know what, girl, like, now that scene doesn't seem as crazy because Michael is trifling.
He is. I'm very shocked because I used to think that he was a good guy and
Hey.
he was being like faithful to her, because I was like, yeah, Michael's a funny guy. He hangs with the goofball friends, and
Mm-hmm.
she's worried, but I think that it's all like the distance, the insecurity and the distance and the space. She can't know what he's doing or see what he's doing. But I don't think Angela is wrong. I feel like Angela worries about what he's doing because he's given her a bunch of reasons to worry about what he's doing. And I don't know. I feel like at this point, she should probably walk away. But again,
Mm-hmm.
this is 5 years of her life. So it's like
Yeah.
it's easy for me, who didn't do any of this, who didn't fly to Nigeria, who didn't get married, who didn't put up with all of this, to say, oh, you should just walk away, because I wasn't there. I didn't put in that effort and money and time and love and stress and tears. So it's easy for me to say that. But I think that if he can't treat her right, and let's just be honest, Angela has made his life a lot better. Okay,
Oh,
like
for
he doesn't
sure.
have to work. She's paying for his car, his house, his food, everything that he needs, also he can just be available for her. And at the tell-all, did you catch last week at the tell-all, she called him and he didn't pick up?
Yes.
That irritated me, because I was like, after
Yep.
all this woman has done for you, she calls you during the tell-all, which you're on the clock, you're working, you're supposed to be ready to record, you're not
Mm-hmm.
even going to take her call. That irritated me.
Oh, yeah, that irritated me too. Because, like you said, they're both on the clock. Why didn't he answer? What was he doing? Like,
Talking to
where?
someone else.
Yes, exactly. Either he was consoling this person, or this person doesn't know what he's doing, so he's lying to them too because he loves to lie, it seems. But or he could have been hanging out with Usman because they were in the same studio together,
Yeah,
and he's not
that's true.
supposed to. So he could have been going and talking to Usman, and he knows that how much Angela and him hate each other. So that could have been a thing too. Maybe he was like talking to him like, "What do I do? How do I get out of this?" Because Michael's not very good. Like, that man, Bilal can talk, Michael cannot. So
Yeah, he can't talk his way out of things. I have noticed that once he opens his mouth and he accidentally says the truth, he's stuck. He doesn't
yeah,
know how to get out of it. There's no circle talking with Michael. Once he spills the truth, that's it. And then he's kind of stuck. All right,
yeah.
so that's it for this week. Next week, Kim and Sojibo are in the hot seat. Now, we've been waiting for this because we know, we found out 2 weeks ago they're not together anymore. And I want to know what's going on, because they're still friends. They said that they're still talking and they're open for friends with benefits, but they're not together. So I want to know how is that going to work? So we're going to wait and see what that's about next week for part 3 of the 4 parts tell-alls. We got 2 more weeks to go. All right, guys, I'm George Mossey. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, at my website, georgemossey.com, anywhere you get your podcast. And this is my co-host, Cherona, and make sure you are following her as well on Instagram and TikTok. We will talk to all of you guys really soon.